welcome to another episode of Asexualized, My Asexual Life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit that great big subscribe button down below. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, please, if you're enjoying the content. If you don't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this amazing Asexual Perspectives book. It's got 47 real life asexual stories in it. In the book, I asked people that are in it, all the asexuals across the spectrum, all different questions about asexuality and what they think about love, life, and sex. So if you haven't already got a copy of that, please click down one of the links below this video. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy. Well, tonight I've got an episode which is all about what the truth, like what is the real truth about asexual dating and relationships. Yes, I am specifically talking about dating and relationships tonight. And I have to say it's really, really difficult. It's very, very difficult whether you want a romantic relationship or queer platonic relationship. It's really hard because the bottom line is one of you will normally need to move. One of you will have to move for a relationship, and it's either going to be you or someone else. Now, if neither of you want to move, then it's never going to happen. And that is the sad truth about asexual dating and relationships. It's very, very difficult, almost impossible, to find someone who is suitable for you in your city. You might be lucky and fortunate enough to find asexuals that are actually in your city. I have a few of them, 2 guys I know, and 1 female. Obviously, I'm only attracted to guys. And, neither of the guys are suitable for me. One's actually in a relationship with another asexual girl now, which I'm really happy for him. So, in order to get a relationship that you really desire, you have to really move your butt, or get your butt of someone to move their butt towards you. And it's not that easy, and also there's people who will try to win your affection in order to get a visa off you if you live in like a European country. Sadly, there are people who try and do this, and I think it's really, really sad, but it does happen. So there are good things about asexual dating and relationships, which I will come on to, but there's also the bad side. This is a bad guy. This is what a message I got on ASAP. I'm reading from my phone at the moment. See, I've got my phone on me, and this type of guy here is a guy you do not want to be involved with, right? This guy messages me right on ASAP. "Hello," he said. And I said, "Hi there. Thanks for connecting. Busy day for me today. How are you?" "How are you, dear?" "Good, thanks. Waiting for a call back from my web host as I'm currently migrating my sites to another host. I had one heck of a day today with getting my sites my whole web hosting transferred. It hasn't happened, hence why I'm late doing the live stream. It's been a bit of a stressful day." Anyway, so I just put he just put okay to that, And then he said, so he's so-and-so, I'm not going to read his name out, from South Africa, living in Dubai. I'm not being funny. I think there's quite a lot of probably lovely South Africans. I'm sure I'm connected to some on Facebook that are great business entrepreneurs and people. But there is also a lot of scams coming from that country. I don't know if you're aware of that, especially money scams. I actually know a woman who's married to a guy from South Africa. She wasn't very sensible at the time. She went to South Africa, got married to this guy, and he can't come back to the UK and ask her for money all the time. And she's legally been married to him for years and can't get a divorce. So, I'm not saying that all people are like that from South Africa. I know someone from one of my old jobs, and she used to visit South Africa every year with her husband and meet up, I think, with friends out there. So it can be a really beautiful country to visit and have friends from. I'm just saying, when you're online, be very, very aware of scams that go on, right? So as soon as the person said, "I'm from South Africa living in Dubai," I thought, yeah, you're going to be interested in coming to the UK now. And then what happens is the question they asked me out. So what about yours? As in, where do you live? I put, I live in the UK and love it here. "Okay, that's good, my love." Very, very friendly already. And then I put, oh, I was born in the UK. See, any guy who wants a visa, that'll be like ding, 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 ding to him. Wow. Listen to how he changes now. Wow. Baby, can I be your baby? Can I'll be your man? Because I'll love you so much, okay? I mean, just don't take any shh from guys like this, you know? I just put, oh no, I'm not interested in a long distance relationship. I'm looking for someone in my country. But thanks, not into marriage either. Good luck with your search. And they put, okay. That's it, end of. They are wanting a visa, clearly. You know? It's a joke. I hate it when people are like that, but you get quite a few of them. Well, I do, obviously, because I'm attracted to foreign guys the most. So I get quite a lot of guys like that, sadly. Some of them aren't quite as bad as that, but, you know, I think that's not very nice, you know, and that's the real truth about, you know, I mean, it's not just about asexual dating. That could happen, you know, with normal sexual dating, if you like, you know, that you get these people that are just frauding people and fakes, you know. He's actually got a picture up of him. Yeah, like a proper picture, not a symbol, which I was quite surprised about. But and he's not bad looking, yeah, but clearly he's a scammer, right? Doing stuff like that. He's trying to latch onto a woman so he can do whatever with her, you know? And so, you know, and then I've got another guy I was talking to today who's so sweet and the opposite. But the truth again with asexual relationships and dating is you have to move or be, you know, you have to move or find a mover. So I was talking to this guy, he's in his early 20s, not Indian, but my type of look actually is in Morocco. And he's very beautiful. And I didn't actually expect the conversation to go this way because on ASAP lately, I'm just talking to guys who are my age group that I like and, you know, just having conversations because it just feels nice to me. I can't do a long distance relationship, I told you before on this channel. And that's, you know, that's, you could argue that's sad, but it's also a good thing. It's protection for me. There's no way I want to get involved in an online relationship. I knew a guy who wasn't asexual, who was in an online relationship for over 4 years. 4 years. And he never ended up being with the girl. It was just a complete waste of 4 years of his life, really. It's ridiculous. You know, I don't want that to happen to me or anyone, to be quite honest. It's not nice. I mean, with asexuals, you know, most relationships are either going to start at asexual meetup or online, though. This is the actual real truth of the matter. They are, because, you know, it's not like we're going to have an asexual pop up at the supermarket. You know, hey, I'm asexual too. You know, I did have one guy when I was with at my friend's karaoke I went to because she was in a competition where one guy was like, I'm asexual. And he goes, oh, it's no big deal. That was shocking. So it can happen occasionally. He lived in London though. He didn't live near my way. So I've been talking to like younger guys lately, and I really, really know that I definitely need a younger guy, to be honest, because like I was talking to a guy who was older who watches this channel recently, but he's just too old for me, you know. Plus the language was a huge barrier. Like I don't usually have problems with language barriers between me and foreign guys. I mean, he did show me one picture of him where he's really beautiful. But you know, I just know he's older than I'd usually go for, and I prefer younger, to be honest. Plus, he said he would like, oh, we'll talk, you know, via Facebook Live, which I knew wouldn't happen. But yeah, it was very difficult because he was saying, I was saying stuff that I'd said to him, and he was like, oh, I didn't say that. Oh, he'd said to me, and he then said I didn't say that, when clearly he did because it's in his messages. And it was, you know, getting very difficult to talk to him because he was kept saying I was misunderstanding when I think I wasn't the one misunderstanding. I was like typing what he said out again to repeat it. But anyway, doesn't really matter, does it? There's a misunderstanding, my way, his way. It's just like not gonna happen, is it? You can't be thinking about a relationship with someone long term if the language is such a barrier that you can't even understand each other. That would just be like a really difficult type of relationship and not healthy for either person. So you know, I kind of have to, I'm sure he's moved on already. I didn't hear from him today. So I think he's still gonna be my friend on YouTube and stuff. But you know, I need a guy who's say sorry and stuff and won't tell me that what I've written down or he's written down is not correct when it is what happened. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise it makes you feel like you're going insane and it's not good. Anyway, so this other guy, he is really he surprised me because I didn't think he'd actually be interested in me and anything else but a friend, because I was just like, thought, oh well, he's in his early 20s, romantic guy, I'll just start talking to him. And it's really good on ASAP because now I've put myself, changed my filters to be any distance across the world. People from other countries are finding me now. I thought that the algorithm with ASAP was like, if you put in like no filters, like I'm open to the whole world for speaking to people, that it would be me who would get different people pop up, which I do, you know, I can swipe whoever I want now in multiple countries around the world, which is great. But I didn't realize that it would help other people from other countries find me. But that's what's happening. I'm getting messaged by guys who are actually aesthetically and age-wise, I'm actually really interested in, that are approaching me, not just me approaching them. So they must see me in their feeds all of a sudden. So yeah, I didn't know that with ASAP. ASAP is a application, is an app for Android or iPhones, especially for asexuals, right? It's used for asexual dating. Some people use it for networking as well, like social networking, but it's used really predominantly for dating. And so I didn't have any idea that would happen. But, you know, if you are searching for someone, then you might want to try that out. But bear in mind, if they are across the globe, this is where the real truth comes in, that unless you move or they move, and you can physically, financially do that, then it's not going to happen. Do you know what I mean? You'll just be wasting your time and energy. I mean, it's I'm saying you can still be their friend, but be a lot of time and energy wasted if you haven't actually got planned to move. In order to have a happy, healthy relationship, really, you need to be looking to move in a year. I don't recommend someone going actually just moving in with a person in a year, because I think that's not a good idea. I think the person needs to be able to relocate, get a job for themselves, a place for themselves, and you two see if you can get on. But I definitely think they should come and visit you for a holiday. If they haven't even got the funds to visit you for a holiday, that's not really going to work, is it? But anyway, it's quite sad because this guy I was talking to, we seem to like want the same sort of relationship. And so I'm like, oh, it's so annoying. He's a young guy, and it's like I said to him that people who are older just don't really understand the type of relationship I want, whereas he does. So we talk about movies and stuff, which was really cool. And it was great because he put 90s kids. We like the same stuff. We grew up watching Lion King, Aladdin, and other Disney movies, also Shrek, Toy Story. And superheroes are a big part of our lives with the animated series back then. And I totally agree. This stuff I love too. My mindset, lifestyle, and soul is like a 90s kid or younger. That is why I look for a younger guy in his 20s for a relationship as well as friends, because basically we like a lot of the same stuff. I'm into dance, club, techno music, and if I listen to older music, it's usually 90s dance / pop, which is totally true. You know, I know when I talk to guys like this that I just feel like that's the type of age I really need to be with, because my birth certificate age is just ridiculous. It's nothing like who I am. It drives me insane because it's like I wish I could physically change the piece of paper legally, but I can't. And I just find that one of the most frustrating things ever, because it's really not who I am. Like I totally relate to this guy. Like we're in the same, like born in the same era, even though we're physically not, if you know what I mean. You know, so it was really nice. He was talking more. I'm not going to say everything, obviously. I like a teenager style relationship too, if I had one, but permanently. Kissing lots, cuddling, dates, chatting until the early hours. Not sex, not marriage, and definitely not kids. I am the kid, no room for more. And I think teenager style relationships are a lot more innocent and fun. And I really do believe that, you know. I would much prefer to have a teenager style relationship that's innocent and fun than any adult sexual rubbish. Excuse my language. Well, I'm not excuse my language on it. It's rubbish. Do you know what I mean? I know I might be insulting sexuals, but you know, I'm happy for them to do it. But for me, it's rubbish. Why would I want this sexual relationship? To me, it's just gross. Do you know what I mean? I'm not into that. It's not my thing. But I think a teenager style relationship is just so much fun, you know. I remember when I was 15, not, you know, I liked that type of relationship, you know, and that's the type of relationship I'd want again, but without a sexual being a part of it. And this person replied, "That's true. That's what having a soulmate is. Someone you can talk with non-stop, share ideas, watch movie together, hang out, a good hug when needed. A partner in crime would be the perfect description of someone you can't live without." Well, I put, yes, I'm looking for that soulmate person. However, for me, it would be a partner in joy, not crime. I think it's really important because I know that's a very like, you know, a phrase in a lot of asexual dating groups and forums I see, particularly on asexual dating sites, that they say I'm looking for a partner in crime. But actually, that really puts me off because it's like crime is like you're doing something illegal or wrong or bad. And I don't like that expression. It really puts me off. So I like to say I'm looking for a partner in joy because that's what I am, you know, joy, happiness, and non-sexual pleasure. So I put and someone who loves kissing and romance as much as me, and also someone who we can both live with without each other, but would prefer to have each other in our lives and we make each other happy. I actually like to live on my own and want a partner to live around the corner, you know, from the other. I'm not into housework. I'm a teenager after all, so I don't want to be doing that for a guy. And I like a guy to live around the corner from me as I'm happy in my flat. And then they put they were in a relationship like that. And that's what's so hard when you hear someone say the words, "I was in a relationship like that," like I want, because it means they want the same type of relationship. And it's like, you know, it's awesome. They go to see them after work, spend time with her, hug her, watch a movie and something, kissed a lot, and you know, and he used to cook for her as well because he likes cooking, and she used to bring snacks round, and you know, he said it was all great until the sex thing got in the way. And I just think that's such a shame, you know. And he's put, I know how hard it is for me. It's even harder to find an asexual person in real life, and a soulmate is impossible. I started accepting that I'll always be alone. But you see, I don't accept that. I really don't. So I put, I don't accept that at all. I'm a non-mover. I just need someone in the UK or who can move without marriage, has the finances to do it himself, and is a genuine guy. I know my soulmate is out there, and although I love the single life, I want him in my life still. A guy who will move. I want him in my life still. A guy will move for me, I believe. I am sure if the guy is that lonely and not tied to where he lives, he will see that it makes sense to move if we both want the same things. To get the relationship we desire, we either need to move or have someone move to us. That is the truth about asexual relationships. And it is, you know, I cannot stress enough how it is. You know, I'm very fortunate in the UK though. I don't want to move because I mean, can you imagine like there's so many people who are foreigners want to move to the UK. Why? Because it's so fantastic. So there's no way I want to move abroad out of the UK because I love the UK, you know? So that is a really difficult thing. You know, they said in response to that it's not that they're tied to where they live, just they can't just quit their job and move without knowing what's waiting for them, you know, because they need to be financially independent and have an apartment, etc. You know, and I said I agree to be financially independent to get your own apartment, etc. So you got to ask how you would go about doing that and the steps you'd need to do it, you know. So, and that they're in a bank, but they said there's you know there's no branch because sometimes people can get a transfer of jobs to another country, but they said there isn't any one of their branches in the UK. And he put this, which is the truth as well. My income here is pretty low for the UK, but for here it's perfect, and it will be hard to get a job there. They don't just give jobs to immigrants. Sorry, it's pretty difficult, you know. So they said, but if I know she's the one, I'll do anything to be with her. But you know what I mean? It's just they can't physically do it if they haven't got the finances, especially when they're like in their early 20s. Do you know what I mean? I mean, he has got a job though, but yeah, he said like he needs a qualification as well, the TOEFL, which is like special English language special English language you know, certification basically. So yeah, it's really sad because he seems like a really sweet guy, but you don't know. This is the first conversation I've had with him. We haven't Skyped. I mean, I didn't. I mean, when I say first conversation, when I start talking to him, I think I only started talking to him not so long ago. When was it? 6. Oh, 2 days ago. It's only the 8th now. Well, just gone after the 8th. So it wasn't long ago. I haven't read all of it out. I've just read like the main bits that's mostly like about moving and relationships and how hard it is. And it's a shame, because he sounds like he wants the same type of relationship as me. But you never know, do you, till you meet a person in real life. That's the thing. That's the reason I can't do online relationships. It's just because you never know. And a lot of the time they can't actually get over here, and I don't want to waste my time on like in a relationship with someone who can never actually get over here, and that's just heartache and pain. So all you can do in that situation is just stay friends with different people, and then if one happens to be able to come over in the future to your country or move, it's great, but you have to just keep looking, because I do believe the right one's out there, even though it's really difficult. And I think you have to come to a time in your life where you have to decide, if someone won't move to you, that you have to find someone you can move to, if you know what I mean. But even that can be difficult, right? Because, like, for example, I don't want to move to Morocco, even though I like Moroccan guys. They're beautiful, most of them. I don't want to move to India, even though, India's my top attraction. I don't actually want to move from the UK. So I either have to find someone in the UK, or it means they've got to come over here. And I think of myself, like, I think, could I be willing to move in the future? But even if I moved in the future, I'd still want it to be in a location within the UK. Do you see what I mean? Because I just love the UK so much. I'm not into traveling, and I'm not, and I don't, like some of the other cultures go against my actual natural personality. Like, I don't want to cook and clean for a guy and have to be subservient to them. It just doesn't work for me. I'm just not interested, and so so it's just really hard. And this is the truth about asexual relationships. I mean, if you're the type of person who likes traveling and you don't mind whatever country you end up in, then that's more power to you, isn't it? All you have to do is connect with many hundreds of asexuals all around the globe, find one that most closely matches the criteria you're looking for, and then you can move to live near them. And then if things don't actually work out in the relationship, you've not lost anything, because you don't mind where you live anyway. And you can settle down wherever. Some people are like that, aren't they? They can just settle down wherever, and they can just move and be wherever they want. And I think if you've got the money to do that, I think if you've got the resources to do that, I think if you are financially independent, I think you've got much more chance of doing that. And I do think there might be some asexuals out there that are like really like high class earners that have the money to move, or have the money, I guess, to accommodate someone. I don't actually think it's great to just accommodate someone, because you don't know who they are, from abroad. But there's like, I have a blogger friend who's a he, and he moved abroad to the Philippines, and he married someone out there. But in the Philippines, he said that a woman who marries a white man from the UK is seen, like, the white guy is seen as really, really like wealthy. And so it's something a lot of Philippine women want. But his wife's beautiful. I've seen pictures of her, actually. And because he said we share, like, the restaurant, she doesn't want people thinking that she's with him for the money. It's because she loves him. She adores him, I can tell, because I got sent a blog comment from her once, and it's just really nice. I'm so happy for him, because he has been looking for a relationship for a while, And one of my other blogging friends, he's 70 something, and his wife's about 39. I think he's 71 or 72. His wife's about 39. So, and he lives with her. They got married last year. They live with their cats. They're not asexual. But I mean, do you know what I mean? It just goes to show you that love doesn't matter in the sense that what love doesn't matter. Sorry, love does matter, but it just goes to show you that age doesn't matter in love, and distance doesn't matter in love. And sometimes the love of your life will be in a completely different country, and that's the truth as well. Your ideal person might not even be in your country. And I think that's one of the hardest things when you're asexual. But when people say, oh, I can't find anyone near me, it's not really surprising. The truth is, like I said, if you want to find an asexual for a relationship, it's really not probably going to be someone near you. So you're going to either have to commute or travel or move, or all three. So it's really difficult, I think. And when people say I've just decided to be alone, well, you have to understand that you have a choice in life. You always have a choice, right? The choice is you can choose to say, right, I'm going to be alone forever. And you can just accept it as is. That's it, right? And in your soul and in your heart that you still pine for someone to be with you. Even though you say you've accepted it, in your subconscious, maybe you really haven't, right? Or you can choose to get out of your comfort zone and do some scary stuff and, try and find someone who's not in your city, that you would move for, or you'd be able to move in and of your own rights. If there's something didn't quite go right, you'd be fine. If I had lots of money, which I very much don't, then it would give me more flexibility, wouldn't it? Be able to travel or move. At the moment, I haven't even found anyone in the UK who's suitable. But some of the people that I have liked, the very few people that I have liked, have been like up country, not near my city. But I haven't actually found a suitable asexual guy in my country at the moment. There isn't anyone that I've met. But with asexuality being wider represented nowadays, I think there will be a lot more likelihood in the future of us all being able to get a good relationship for ourselves, whether we want it romantically or platonically. And hopefully we'll make more asexual friends as well, because there'll be more and more people coming out as asexual. I think there's still a long way to go, but I think we're making progress. So I think in the future we will see more geared towards the 1% coming out. There'll be a lot more people talking about it. And that the real truth is about asexual dating and relationships, that might not be for a while. We might have to wait like 5-10 years before it actually really, really fully gets underway. If I had tons of money, I'd be advertising it all over the globe. I don't have loads of money at all. I'm the opposite end of the financial spectrum, but not too far opposite, because obviously I have my own flat rented that is beautiful, so it's not like I'm completely the opposite end. But it's really nice. I'm just grateful and thankful for everything in my life now, and I think that's what you have to do. You just have to count your blessings and be thankful for all your asexual friends you've got, for the wonderful people that come into your life. And I think that I think you don't give up. I can't give up, right? It's not within my nature to give up, right? Like sometimes I think, right, just give up for a time being. And sometimes that can be a bit healthy in the sense that I'm thinking, just give up for the time being. But then it's not very long again before I think, well, no, my soulmate's out there. It's up to me to find him. And I don't believe this thing about genders where women shouldn't be chasing guys, women shouldn't be approaching guys, women shouldn't be talking to guys. It's ridiculous. We're in the 21st century, for goodness sake. Everyone who's asexual should be approaching people they are interested in. If you like the look of someone, if you're into aesthetics, approach that person. If you like the person's personality and what they write in their bio, approach that person. You've got nothing to lose at the end of the day. We're in a minority, so you have to put a lot more harder work and effort and energy into getting the right relationship for you. It's just a given, like it's not like we can walk down into a supermarket, a club, go into a gym or go into a concert and hey, yeah, we're all asexual. Do you know what I mean? It's not usually gonna happen that way. So we have to be like our own investigator and try and investigate people and find out if their matches meet our own needs, because the other truth about asexual dating relationships is very, very difficult to get someone whose needs, wants, likes and dislikes matches yours, which is why it's really, really hard. So you have to write a list of what you definitely don't want, like no, under certain terms, no way, Jose, am I going to do that. So for me, that would be kids. I don't want children of my own. I never have done, never will do. Right? Kids are not on my agenda. Sex I've had enough of in the past, even though I'm asexual, I've still had that in the past. I don't need that anymore. I'm not interested in that. I never was really like it's just like, well, you know what I mean about it. It's just not my thing. And marriage, I'm not a marriage girl, you know. My parents have been married 50 years next month. My mum needs a gold medal. But oh dear, I can't believe it just said that. But yeah, but she's the only one that would be the best one for my dad, put it that way. But she's a housewifey type of person. I'm not that type of person, people. You know I'm not. You know, and I think that's what's so difficult as well, that if you are interested in someone who's from a different cultural country, that is the thing, isn't it? They're from different cultures and countries. Like, you might have all the freedom you want. Like in the UK, I've got freedom, haven't I? Come and go as I please, do what I want. I don't have to be subservient to a guy, although loads of women still are in the UK, in my opinion. You know, I don't have to cook and clean for anyone, and that comes as a benefit of also living on my own. And just like, you know, I can really enjoy my life, you know, and not have to worry about things really, and chill out, you know. And I think, you know, like, I know with some cultures and some countries I'd have to wear certain clothes, cover up certain parts of my body, even though I keep pretty covered up as it is. You know, I'd have to like be a housewifey type, the mothery type of the household. It's just not me. I'm like a 15-year-old who just wants to go and theme parks, go to zoos and aquariums and cinema and hang out with food places and have fun, you know? I'm literally like a 15-year-old. I'm not interested in that type of adult, to me, boring life that's traditional and conventional, you know? And I think that's what's really hard about asexual dating and relationships. Is the real truth is, like, a lot of foreign guys in particular, they do want someone like they've been brought up, you know, to like. They want someone who will cook and clean for them. I mean, the thing is, most guys, if they can get a woman who, I'm saying guys because that's what I'm interested in talking about, if the guy can get a woman who will cook and clean for him, do housework for him, versus a woman that won't do any of that type of thing for him, i.e. me, who do you think he's going to go for a long-term relationship? The person like me who won't do that, or the woman that will do all that for him? So they more likely choose the woman that would do that for them. They might like me as a person to date and to have fun with, but they're not going to want that long term. They're going to want someone who's going to cook and clean for them and do housework for them. Am I interested in doing that for a guy? No. Do I want to? No. Would it make my life happier? No, it'd make it more miserable. So why bother doing that? It's absolutely ridiculous. You know, I'm not interested in that. Does a 15-year-old clear up after themselves and wash and cook and clean and all the rest of it? No, not really. But, you know, they might do that if they're a responsible person, I suppose. But, you know, I do what I have to get by. I'm always washing clothes, actually. I'm doing that a very lot, quite several times a week. So it's not like I don't do anything, but I don't mind doing that, you know. Yeah, so I think, you know, you've got when you're looking at asexual dating and relationships, you've got the various things. You've got like to look at your living type of situation that you want. So you know, do you want to live together? Do you want separate rooms, separate beds? Because, you know, the truth about asexual relationships and dating is that although we're all asexual, our needs can be so different, and we have to get a near match as possible. So, you know, like, do you, like I said, you know, what type of home environment do you want to live with a person at all or not? I personally want a living apart together relationship where we live separately but we can see each other lots, so the guy lives near me, you know, like a neighbor type thing. And then, you know, you've got the environment. You know, some people who are asexual, they want to live in separate rooms but still under the same house. Some people want to share a bed, some people don't. Some people might have an arrangement like they have two separate beds but in the same room. So it's kind of like you're dossing over someone's house, like your mate. Do you know what I mean? So there's different living arrangements, you know, and sleeping arrangements the person or people might like. You know, if you're into polyamory, which I'm not, I'm monogamous, you know, you might want to have a house full of different partners that you live with. If you're even if you're not polyamorous, you know, I know some asexual aromantics, for example, they'd like to have like a house full of all their friends, like loads of flatmates that are all asexual as well, for example, or maybe they're not even asexual, but as friends and mates hang out together in a house. So you need to take into consideration your living arrangements, and then you've got to work out if your morals and ethics and religion are compatible. They don't have to be the same, but compatible. So if, for example, I was with someone who was an atheist, someone who didn't believe in God or anything like that, it wouldn't really matter to me, even though I believe in God and religion in a very, how can I put it, one way, just a little bit. I don't read the Bible. I'm more spiritual than religious, so I just have my own belief, and that's it. It's not going to church, it's not baptized or christened, not being strictly religious, but as long as they respected that's my belief. I'm if they don't believe in anything, if they're atheist, I'm cool with that, as long as they don't encroach that onto me and I don't encroach that onto them. I'm cool with that. To be honest, it'd probably suit me more than someone who was completely talking about God all the time, because there's some people, and they're on Facebook and various social media, and they're always talking about God this, God that. And I think for another person who goes to church and who likes that type of thing, is into that and supports that and wants to hear that all the time because it makes them feel elated and happy and comfortable about their religion, and it's like celebrating it, I think that's really good. But obviously that wouldn't work with the person who's not really into religion and maybe doesn't really like that. So and then politics, can you accept each other's political differences, or is that going to cause rows, or are you just not bothered, and then there's ethical and moral stuff. One person might really love animals, the other person might be like, don't bring an animal near me, I'm not interested, and not be very kind to them. Do you see what I mean? There might be one person who in a relationship who maybe likes, I don't know, certain types of things that the other person would find negative, you see. I had a guy, there was a man and woman yesterday in Sainsbury's, right, supermarket, when I went to get my food. I don't think they're asexual, I'm just trying to point a scenario out that I personally hate, and it reminds me a bit of guys I've been with in the past. And this guy said to this woman, "Oh, you're so easy to offend, aren't you? I was only joking." And to me, that is very patronizing, very belittling, and kind of narcissistic as well. I have to say that. It's very putting down the person in the relationship. Now, he probably found that funny. He probably say it's his sense of humor. To me, that's just not nice. He clearly said this a million times before to her. He goes, "Oh, it's kind of like the attitude. Well, you're always touchy. You're always like sensitive like that." That's one of the worst things you can say to someone. It's really nasty. How can a person be themselves around someone who tells them that they shouldn't be the way they are and pokes fun of it? Personally, I don't like that. Personally, I don't like that type of person. I think they're very unhealthy to be with. But yeah, some people might like that. Some people might think, well, he's sarcastic, he's funny, he pulls, we wind each other up all the time. They might love that. They might think, wow, this is a great guy, and the female might be like that. And the female might jab at the guy all the time and go, "Oh, you're just so tetchy yourself," or and make fun of him, I don't know, and say stuff about, "Oh, you've been working too hard, love," and stuff like this. I don't know. They might say jabs back, and they might love that type of relationship, but for me, I would hate that type of relationship. So you've also got to work out ethics, morals, attitude towards each other, and you've got to obviously think about hobbies and interests. As hobbies and interests, do they go together or do they conflict? For example, I'm personally against fox hunting. I can't stand fox hunting. I hate it. I don't like people hunting animals, right? But there are some people that like hunting animals, that like even killing animals, wild animals. And I saw an asexual the other day, and he kills birds, I think, shoots birds. My dad even has a shotgun, licensed shotgun, so he could kill things, which he did when I lived in the countryside with my parents, animals, not humans, obviously. But he's licensed for that. My parents don't live with me. He's licensed for that, he's legal for that. But I don't like that type of guy, personally. I don't want a guy around shooting animals. Do you know what I mean? But some people do that for hobbies, interests, and they enjoy it. So, and I love going to zoos, right? And there was someone recently, and recent weeks I was talking to, and they hate zoos because they feel like the animals are trapped. I like going to aquariums. They felt that they didn't want to see fishes in tanks, whereas to me it chills me out, relaxes me, and it's one of my favorite things to do, and I just feel totally at peace with my soul there. So do you see how these different hobbies can conflict with each other? No one's necessarily right or wrong. It's just opinion, feeling, preference, and how you're going to get on with the person. Do you know what I mean? And then you've got to, hobbies and interests, and you've got to look at, like, where is their 5-year plan? What have they got a 5-year plan for a start? And then what is it? What is their 5-year plan? If they're like, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, what do you think it's going to be like if you get into a relationship with that type of person? They're not going to, excuse me. They're not going to know what they're doing, are they? That you're not going to know what you're doing for 5 years if they don't, if you're, sorry, if you're partnered with them. Do you know what I mean? You need someone who at least knows where they're heading in their life. Who's got a general sense of an idea, whether they want to emigrate, stay in the country they're in, where they want kids, where they don't want kids, where they want marriage, they don't want marriage, where their job may take them. So they might be studying for 3 years, then they might have a job placement in a completely different country. It's really sad recently because there was an asexual in one of the groups, and he said he found the ideal woman, right? But now they can't be together because he is actually leaving and moving away because he's got a kid, and the mother of the kid is moving, so he's moving too. Because I don't think they live together. I think they're not together, but he wants to move because he wants to see the kid. So it's kind of like, I presume that's a situation. I think it is. I don't know if they're polyamorous. They could be, but I think that's the situation from what I understand. He's having to move because the mother's moving. So he doesn't want to lose contact and regularly see the kid. And now the woman he really likes to be in a relationship with, she can't be with him anymore because she can't do long distance relationships, which I perfectly understand. So you kind of got to think of, like, you can't always predict that. Like, you probably didn't even predict that, but you can't, you've got to kind of see into the future. Like, where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as a person who wants to settle down and be in a committed relationship? Or do you see yourself as someone who just wants to date, have fun, be single all your life and quite happy doing that? Do you see what I mean? Do you see yourself as just dating for a while? I actually know an asexual person who said to me in recent months, oh, well, I wouldn't mind dating you, but I don't want a permanent relationship with you. It'd only be temporary. I'm not interested in temporary relationships. Absolutely waste of time for me. Waste of time. I don't mind having friendships, different way, but I'm not having a relationship that's temporary. Absolutely waste of my time. I'd rather stay single because I'm happier as a single person. I do not want to put loads of time and energy into someone if they're just going to see me temporarily. Because relationships, the truth about any relationship, asexual relationship and dating, or any relationship, is when you get past the actual dating stage, like, let's go out for a meal, meet this person, meet that person if you're into dating. The truth is that in an actual relationship, like, you have to maintain it. That's one of the hardest parts, is maintaining it. There was a dating coach that I saw recently. I saw something about a dating coach, and the person I think I mentioned before is saying, why do all the dating coaches seem like they're single? And the response from this forum was, well, because they're dating coaches. So to date, most people are single that date. So that's, they didn't agree that most dating coaches are actually single because they listed several that aren't. But they said, like, a person who's into dating, who dates, is going to be a good dating coach, but not necessarily good at helping people to establish and maintain a long-term committed relationship. Because dating is different to relationship. Dating is like when you're dating, it's when you're meeting multiple people and you're going out for meals, drinks, and meeting up, and you're seeing if there's any potential relationship there. But some people, especially sexuals, they'll be out dating 5 people or whatever, or 3 people at the same week at the same time, and they could be kissing them and doing whatever with them because they're not actually committed. Personally, eventually, I'd like to be in a long-term committed relationship with someone when I find the right person. But I don't want to give all that energy and time to just one person if their goals, their ambitions, their dreams, their hobbies, their ethics, their morals are so different to mine. There's no point. It's just going to lead to heartache and pain. And that's what I'm saying to you as well. There's a lot to asexual dating relationships. I don't think any person who's asexual should just sit back and go, well, I'm not going to have one. I'm going to be alone forever, because that's a defeatist attitude. You could argue, oh, I'm being a realist. But I mean, do you want to be a realist all your life and just sit there and say that? You got what, 20, 30, 40 years left of your life more? Do you know what I mean? That's plenty of time to find a relationship. It doesn't have to be overnight. It doesn't mean to say that it's not going to take 10 years to find the right person. But if you're in the mindset that you're not going to find someone anyway, you're not going to find someone anyway. Because whatever we think about attracts. So if, for example, I think, well, I'm never going to find someone, guess what? I'm never going to find someone, because that's what I believe. And beliefs hold a lot of power. They hold a lot of energy. So if you truly believe, I'm not going to find anyone, and you don't look for anyone, and you don't go out to look for anyone, and you don't instigate conversations, and you don't want to move, and you don't even want to travel out your city, and you don't want to do anything outside your city whatsoever with anyone, then you're not, how will you ever get into a relationship? You have to give yourself the best chance of getting a relationship by being open to it, even if you've had your heart broken before, by being responsive to people, by being proactive and talking, initiating conversations and maintaining any ones that are healthy, getting rid of the ones that aren't. And you need to be, thinking this is a long-term strategy. This is not a short-term strategy. This is a long-term strategy, which it is for me. I've been searching for my asexual soulmate now since 2014. 2014, we're now in 2019. That's like 5 years, and it's exactly 5 years, because it's sort of like it's March 2014 that I found out I was asexual, right? And so it was sort of, I think it was about July time that I started going, or a bit earlier, between May and July, that I started going on asexual dating sites, So I've been looking for my asexual soulmate for a very, very long time. Does it mean to say I'm going to give up? No, because I don't think I'm the type of person who's a giver-upper. I could sit back here and say, yeah, I'm okay, because I am okay being single, right? I am okay being single. I enjoy being single. Actually, if I get into a relationship, I have huge anxiety, so it's not good for me. But I believe, like, in the future, if I'm really good friends with someone for a very, very long period of time, and we really are attracted to each other in the multiple ways you need to be attracted to each other, well, for me, I have to have some asexual don't. So you need to be aware that some people are aesthetic people, they need aesthetics, and other people don't. So I'm someone who aesthetically is good looking for the look I like, right? So I'll be always looking for someone who's aesthetically pleasing, but also nice in personality, who I can get on with, and it's going to be hard. But I can't give up, because I think that's a defeatist attitude. I think, if you give up, you've given up. If I totally believe that there is a soulmate, asexual soulmate for me. I believe he's younger, I believe he's foreign, I believe he's in his 20s, and I believe he will show up. And I do believe he's out there. I do believe it. I feel it in every cell of my body. I feel that this person is out there, right? And I will do whatever it takes to find him, to get him, right? Because why not? If I sit back and go, usually if I sit back and wait for people to come to me, most of the time I get rubbish, because people are like, oh, if it's meant to happen, just let it happen, and don't even think about it, and don't do anything. Like, if I don't do anything, nothing comes of nothing, right? You don't do anything and you just sit there. What do you expect to happen? All these people are suddenly flocking to you. Of course they're not. You have to be proactive. This notion that you should just wait till it happens and one day it'll drop on you. Like, yeah, maybe one day it will magnificently happen, but you'd have to be in the right place at the right time. And usually that's to do with taking action, right? You decided, today I will go for this walk down here. Today I will go and contact this person. Today I will speak to this person, and their friend might know someone who's asexual. Today I spoke to this person on this web, this asexual dating site. We had this nice conversation, and then the things might progress from there, If you just sit back and say, well, yeah, I've come to the conclusion I'm not going to find anyone, well, that's what you'll get, won't you? You won't be able to find anyone, because that's what you've asked for. I don't believe it. If you don't believe it, it's not going to happen, is it? I believe our current circumstances do not dictate our future. You know, do not dictate our future, you know. I am certain that my current circumstances do not dictate my future. I totally 100% believe that. I'm going to make sure of it, you know. Like, I have been pursuing, for example, personally, you know, like entrepreneurial journey, which is not easy. It's really tough. And it takes years to do that. And, you know, you can have heartache, pain and struggle, but do you know what I mean? I still wouldn't be out doing that because I'm a go-getter and action taker. And you really have to be a go-getter and action taker in this world. You know, if you sit back and wait for everything to happen, then all this shite can come into your life. Excuse my language. I've done it before. Like, people are like, oh, well, why don't you wait for this guy turn up? Yes, I think he will turn up, but I think I have to go out there and actively try and find this person and put myself in the best position for them to find me. Because, you know, if you don't go and put yourself out there, you are literally, in effect, also attracting things you don't want, because you're like saying, well, anyone can come and get me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, when I used to not expect to talk to guys, not expect things, then a lot of the time I used to get rubbish come my way. People that aren't suitable for me. People that I haven't chosen. They've chosen me, but they're not good for me. Do you see what I mean? So personally, I'd rather go and try and choose the guy I want to be with, or guys potentially that I want to be with, than let rubbish come my way, you know? But please, please remember, you know, the real truth of asexual relationships and dating is you have to put yourself out there. You have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to approach people. You have to either be willing to move or find a mover, right? And if you can't find a mover in 10 or 20 years, but you actually do find someone you really like, then you need to highly consider moving, don't you? You know, it's just the way it is. Because it's harder for us to get someone. We have to make more of an effort, and we have to think of other things that we can do to find a relationship that the average person wouldn't think of. Yeah? Because it's just that we're not average people. So does that make sense? I hope it does. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already by hitting the great big subscribe button down below. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now and post a new video. I hope you find the love of your life. Don't stop hoping and wanting and believing that it can happen for you. Obviously, if you're asexual, I highly recommend you trying to find another asexual to have a relationship with rather than a sexual, because a lot of the time, the majority of the time, I wouldn't say it works out very well unless you're prepared to have sex a lot, really. Anyway, until next time, embrace your quirky and each other's, and I will see you on the next video. I love you to bits. Take care. Don't forget the thumbs up. Really important. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye. Lots of love. Bye.